Welcome back to the affirmation section of today's episode of 1320 Time Stream, where we're getting into the yellow planetary human affirmation. Okay, I perfect in order to influence, producing wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of universal fire. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. It sounds so yummy. Well, I perfect in order to influence as those aspects of that which could be considered like the many pieces, that which is unperfected, that which is unrefined. As it reaches that state of perfection, it's that very perfection which influences. And so I feel that one's really kind of simple in its presence. It's like, as you bring it to perfection, that is what's going to influence. Producing wisdom. It's almost like saying that perfection itself is the wisdom. It's like, because in some way that, okay, it's now perfect. It doesn't have to change. We know that that's the reference point. And so the production of that wisdom, the production part, is like the discovering what makes it perfect to begin with. And so that's almost like exploring that gradient, wondering where that alignment is, looking for that alignment. And so as we're discovering and looking for that alignment, that is the production of that wisdom, because eventually we find that point, which is the perfection, and that is what will influence. I seal the process of free will with the planetary tone of manifestation. It's like if we're looking at free will as that power of alignment or even the power of choice, it's like the planetary tone of manifestation really works into that choice. What are we going to manifest? What are we bringing into being? And so we really have to choose wisely in order to make that happen. And so the intrinsic nature of both of them, which is free will and manifestation, are really interlinked. They are locked together in their process of becoming. I see the process of free will with the planetary tone of manifestation. And so that free will is really going to be defined by how we bring things into being, how you're making your choices. And a big part of that too is what is being brought into being. And this is something that I find can be very vague when we're talking about something like manifestation, because manifestation itself, a lot of times we see it as an objectification, where it's like, oh, I want this to happen, we're going to bring that to manifestation. But very much so, like if we're talking about the identity and things of this nature, the other aspects of manifestation quite simply are the self. It's like becoming the self, right? That we're manifesting. And that is producing that identity, producing that clarified identity. And this kind of toroidal loops back in the beginning. I perfect in order to yada yada with the planetary tone of manifestation. All of it is the centrifugal force of the becoming, which is part of the human consciousness. I am guided by the power of universal fire, which is the sun. And so that sun energy, that enlightenment energy, the enlightenment practice, the universal fire, the yang energy, that like, even just straight up the sun, the fire from the universe is guiding the human energy today. Maybe it's a very abstract frequency that's like, the sun shining for you. Maybe it's a very illuminated quality that observes your very existence. I find for me, the very nature of that can be represented in how things are being described today. As there's a heightened frequency of being able to communicate kind of like a hyper-defined mentality or a mechanic within this system. I am guided by the power of universal fire. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. Have fun with that. Those are so unique and they show up for everyone in very different ways. I know for myself, I really see what's going on with that currently and have been in that all day. And it's been truly magnificent. And I really inspire all of you on those days to really find what that is for you. Find that portal. Sometimes you may not even know you're directly in it. And yeah, I feel that they play a really large role towards who you are really becoming and what your role really is in the world. As you and the world are becoming one, as you and the world are evolving and changing and shifting together into this perfected form, if you could even call it that. And we get to really touch a little more on that tomorrow because, we're living prophecy currently. And tomorrow also represents prophecy, being the Skywalker. So, yeah, let's see another little foray here. I perfect in order to influence, producing wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of universal fire. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. Well, there we go. Okay, stay tuned for the oracle.